Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Divorce Summit in January about becoming. And thank you for joining me, those who are with me live. And for those who are watching the replay, reach out afterwards and let me know that you were here and what you got out of it in your comments. So I'll be sharing with you the magic of manifestation. Yes, we've heard a lot about manifestations either at the end of last year or the beginning of this year, or just, whenever it kind of stirs your soul to start manifesting the life that you really want. So, we're going to look at your best life ever after divorce and what that includes. Like, how do we get there, right? So, thank you for joining me. And I want to acknowledge you first for being here, showing up for yourself live or watching the replay. Hey, Christina, thanks for being with me and choosing to grow, choosing to look at your future and your life in a different way, maybe through a different lens, and maybe heal a little bit on the inside or along the way and dream a brighter future instead of the one that you maybe came out of. So what can you take away from this divorce? Maybe one that you've already had or you're going through, you're even contemplating. So so divorce can be challenging, of course. If it's not, then I don't know, maybe it's a good beginning to it, but it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end of your life or what's possible for you. It's the beginning, right? It's a time that we can transform. We invite in like discovering yourself. Like, this is a whole new world perhaps for you where you were and what's next. It's a time for you to redefine the story that you've told yourself or been telling yourself and create a new story and realign with the possibilities that await you that they might not be very clear, they might be still really fuzzy, or maybe they're behind a closed door. um, but there's new stories that you can write, new stories that you can be the author of, right? So let's look at the ways that we can be in alignment when manifesting. And when we're in alignment, when you manifest, you become very empowered and you create a life beyond what you've already known. Like, we are comfortable where we were. Maybe there's a certain security or safety in going forward, but still living in the past. So we're going to invite you to imagine this future, this new life for yourself, full of happiness. And this might be a stretch for you, but it could be stay with me until the end here. It might be happiness, independence, because there might have been some codependence going on, with gratitude. Gratitude for this future, gratitude for where you've been, and of course, loving yourself for what you're becoming, what you've been through. So together we're going to explore the magic of being in alignment, and I'll explain and express more about what I mean by that. By being in alignment and the shifts that are going to occur emotionally, as we heal, we start getting in alignment. We start to heal emotionally, start to heal, physically in some ways, and how you can confidently begin to manifest this future that you're stepping into, that you're creating the possibility of. So let's look at the foundations of manifestation. So manifestation, it's not just like, say some affirmations, do some vision boards, maybe set some smart goals. Manifestation begins like at a much deeper level. Um, it's like it combines your desires and make them into reality. So you would have those like I wish, or maybe I could one day. So when we align our desires with our thoughts, the thoughts that we're having, I'll say more about that in a little bit, and the beliefs that we have. There's sometimes they're limiting beliefs, but changing our beliefs about ourselves and then choosing different actions, behaviors, because we're pretty maybe um, anchored, call it, into how we've been being, and that's so familiar. So it's just changing our behavior, shifting our beliefs, reprogramming our thoughts. And when you create a clear path from this place, now we're in alignment and looking at what you value most. It's like, well, what is you want in the future, right? What is it you want in this life that you're starting to create and live into? Being fully aligned. And then this creates the possibility of it happening. And I'll share more about how that's possible. You're like, what? Can I, we're not just going to think up. We're not just going to think what we're going to manifest. We're actually going to create it from an energetic level. So the universe, when we're in alignment, the universe, God, whatever your belief is. Hey, Angie. starts to push open, push part everything. Like, it's almost like parting the seas, opening the door, making it possible what it is you want. But you have to be very clear on what you want and really believe it. It's like, oh, I wish, or maybe, it's like, well, we need to believe that that's possible, that that is something that we can have. So let's look at thoughts. Think about plants, right? I like to garden. So let's look at sort of like a garden, right? So our thoughts are like seeds that we're manifesting. So every thought we have is like a seed. We plant that seed. It's either going to be a weed or it's going to be a beautiful flower or something, maybe a vegetable that nurtures us. So when what you focus on grows. Hey, Bambi, thanks for being here. So what you focus on grows. It gets bigger. It gets like we talk about anchoring. You are anchored into that thought. So imagine a gardener planting a seed in this beautiful fertile soil. You kind of dig open the opening, put the seed in, you cover it all up. Well, your mind is like the soil. So you put the thought in, soil goes over top, and then now it's like going to be nurtured, right? It's going to be fertilized, and your thoughts are like those seeds. So the soil needs to be rich in your potential, maybe the potential that you haven't been living into. It needs to be rich in what you value. What is it that matters to you most about your future? Maybe it's that independence, maybe it's the autonomy, maybe it's the authenticity and trust. Trust that you can provide an environment in which this seed thought, the seed of confidence, yes, maybe you're there, maybe you're not, worthiness, and then love can be nurtured. So you plant the seed and then watch it bloom, watch it grow into confidence, worthiness, and nurturing it. So also part of this growing process is the beliefs. These are in alignments. You have your thoughts, you have your beliefs. These are the roots. So these are things, even with those weeds, sometimes those weeds get really like, that tap root gets really long. And then sometimes the roots are just on the surface and you're easy to pull out. Well, imagine your beliefs are like roots. And these beliefs, oh, if your beliefs are in alignment with your desires, with the things that you value, they can provide the nourishment that the seed needs. However, if your beliefs are full of doubts, fears, or unworthiness, like whatever is kind of like those negative things, they will like choke out the root. So instead of that root getting really, really strong, it'll kind of choke it out. So you won't be able to, those beliefs won't be able to grow and expand. They'll just stay small and dark. But if your beliefs are strong, and that you're capable of navigating the obstacles. Imagine, like, there's that root and it's got to come out of the ground, but maybe there's rocks in the way. Maybe there's roots of other trees and it's got to go around the obstacles to come up. So, to be strong and capable to navigate those obstacles and to follow what you value and really believe that what you can have is out there instead of that root staying down and maybe it becomes all tangled in itself because it can't grow and it can't get out. So it becomes all entangled within its own beliefs. So it stays hidden, it stays underground, it can never come up to the top. And it even gets the life choked out of it, right? So you have this belief, and it's like, I have this dream, and it's like, no, that it can't blossom and grow because it's getting the life choked out of it. It's just being really small. So the other part of alignment is actions, the behaviors that we are. So these are the sunlight and the water that, think the sunlight that warms the soil, the water, nurtures it. We need the water. So no matter how rich the soil is or how strong the roots are, your dreams need to grow through action. Like has to have a direction that it's going to go. Just naturally roots and plants and seeds grow upward. We need to have a direction for it to go. So your actions follow what you value most, the things that are really important to you. Your decisions are made, you make decisions more confidently when you know what you value. So after divorce, many of us struggle with limiting beliefs. And these are things that, keep us small, keep us, playing small, keep us believing the same things. Like, I'll never find happiness again, or I'm just too hard to start over. It's just like we just kind of like, it's just weighs on us. So these beliefs create a reality where it feels like you're never going to be able to get past this moment, because we're just thinking of the past. We're just living in the past. We just can't move forward. But here's the truth, it's not the end. Divorce is not the end, it's the beginning. It's like one door closes and the other opens, right? So you are becoming all you were made to be. And it's like maybe you weren't authentic because you wanted to in the relationship. And now it's it's the beginning of being authentic, beginning of aligning with the part of you that hasn't been allowed to be in that relationship that you didn't allow yourself to be. So when your thoughts and your beliefs and your actions, they all align with what you value most, the magic happens, the manifestation happens. So let's look at some healing our wounds, our emotional wounds when it comes to manifestation. So manifestation requires a clear channel. Otherwise, it's like that door closed, right? It's like we kind of just living where we work. So emotional wounds from divorce can block that channel. Um, think of, like the root wants to go up. But if you put a barrier in the way, then it tries to go around it. But if it can't find a way to go through it, then it'll just stay there. So 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 the emotional wounds from the divorce, they block that channel if left unhealed. And it's almost like, acknowledging them. So before you create a life you love, you must create a space for your dreams to manifest, for your for the emotions to release, so that your seed, your plant can grow with the strong roots, really strong held in. So you need to feel it to heal it. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. If we're, sometimes those emotions are really powerful, they're really strong. And it's like, well, I don't want to feel that. But if we can kind of take a distance from it and then to sort of observe that emotion, then we can start to look at it and have compassion. So divorce, of course, stirs up a lot of emotions, like the whole spectrum. You can have grief, your sadness, even anger, maybe some guilt is in there. These are all natural. It's just like, we're just kind of going through this wave. So instead of suppressing them, honor them, acknowledge them. Even just journal, having some therapy, coach like myself, or just simply sit with the emotion can help. And so start by naming the emotion. So you're having the emotion. You may even just think about something. You may not even be having the emotion, but you think of it. And then you just name it. What is it I'm feeling? And it's almost like just acknowledging it. You can even, if it's a powerful emotion, something that just has like a impact in you in some way, you can pretend that the emotion is like way across the room on another chair or sofa or somewhere far away. And that's called disassociating. And just have a little chat with that emotion. Just say, what is it you're feeling? What is this emotion trying to help you to do to release? All of our emotions have a purpose. Anger is about maybe not having boundaries, not living fully authentically. So we quiet our voice, right? So there's anger. So just, disassociating from the emotion and just have a little chat with it. They're all a part of you, and all your emotions just want to be acknowledged. They want to be accepted, validated. Just yes, you will have emotions, and when we try to stuff them and ignore them because they're just a little too much at the moment, we just maybe let them out a little bit at a time. And then once your emotions have been expressed and heard, then their significance, the power of that emotion can release. It's almost like, the pressure cooker. I don't even know if they have them anymore, but you put something under pressure, when you take the lid off, it goes, the steam comes out and everything. So you can finally release it. That person that just bottles everything up, and then one day just that little thing happens and then boom, it's like, oh my gosh, like, what's that about? It's like, because we've been stuffing it for so long. The other part of emotional healing in order to manifest is forgiveness. Of course, is forgiveness for ourselves, forgiveness for the other person. So it's not, we haven't been showing up for ourselves. The other person hasn't shown up for us in the way that we want them to. So forgiveness isn't about like condoning or accepting that what happened is like, it's just the way it is and it's okay. It's like, if we can look at what happened, because it just happened, right? It's like, it's something that happened in the relationship and not make meaning of it, and it's a little easier to forgive. It's about releasing hold on the past with forgiveness. And say, so you might say, forgiving yourself for not saying what you needed to, for asking for what you wanted to, or even giving yourself what you needed, right? Expecting the other person, your partner, to fulfill a sense of feeling and needing to be loved, and they didn't love you the way you needed to be loved. So forgiving them for not, being that person that you needed to be. Forgiving yourself for not being there for how you wanted to be. So this allows you, the part of you that's hurting, to turn towards the future. So when we acknowledge that forgiveness, have that compassion, then it like the past can fade away, and then we can turn and look towards the future and discover what is it that it really matters. What is it that I can do, that you can do about the future? So what's important to you and why like knowing why something is important to you gives it power, gives it strength so that you can start having a roadmap, this clear roadmap that you can follow. And then this again maybe a stretch for some of you, but having gratitude. It's like, ah, I never want like, how could I ever be grateful for whatever happened, right? And but to have gratitude for the lessons, like there's a lesson in everything that we experience in life. And sometimes hey, Joan. Sometimes this lesson is, hey, that was really great, and wow, I learned this about myself. I'm really thankful. And then there's the other lessons that are before us, and it's like, nope, that wasn't a lesson. That definitely was something bad. It's like, well, what what can you take away from that experience that will help you to make different choices later, to to know how maybe how strong you really are. So the gratitude turns your attention towards the future and this deeper wisdom within yourself that maybe you haven't allowed to speak or to be known, that intuition, so that you can choose differently, so that you again are in alignment. So when we're not in gratitude, that gratitude is like a higher vibration, a higher frequency. Like when someone is just really grateful for things and loves life, appreciates the moments, and that other person that just grumbles and gripes and complains all the time. And you don't want to be near that person who's complaining, who's really negative. But the person who's positive, it's almost like, yeah, you want to be in their company. So think of it like that, of being in gratitude. And whenever we're in gratitude, we can't have two emotions at the same time. So you can't be in gratitude and be in hate or anger. So choose to be in gratitude. But if you really are, you know, determined to be in the other one, well, maybe there's a little like some emotions you have to ride through first in order to get to the gratitude. But just like this, but how this all align with the person that you are becoming. So like in order to create the future, we have to live into the person you're becoming, live into the way of being and thinking and believing. So let's do a visualization effect. So if you're comfortable, you can just have a soft gaze or close your eyes and imagine a suitcase filled with every experience you had in that relationship, maybe even before your relationship, as you were growing up or whatnot, the hurts, the regrets, the disappointments, all the things that are in the suitcase that you're carrying from your divorce, from your childhood, all of the grievances, all of this accumulation of a lifetime, perhaps, not just in your marriage, there were shortcomings of your parents, shortcomings of your partner. And the suitcase has become so heavy and it's so full, it's just bursting. You know how a suitcase can be like so full that you have to sit on it to zip it up? It's like so full and so heavy that you just can't carry it any longer. But for some reason, you keep carrying it. And then maybe it's like in this very moment being here or to after you watch this or you just think about it, it's like, I don't need to carry this anymore. It's not my burden to carry. It's not my disappointments to carry anymore. So just let it go. Just imagine just dropping it instead of just dragging it along, right? Just let it go. Just leave it. Just, it's like, but, it's like, just leave it. Maybe it'll decompose. And so now that you've left the suitcase, this heavy, heavy suitcase full of all those things, now visualize yourself walking away from it. Turning away from the suitcase, walking away. Your steps are lighter. You just feel more free. When you start doing your spring cleaning and you start purging everything, and then all of a sudden you feel really lighter and you have more space and expansion. It's kind of like that. Just leave that suitcase. So healing doesn't happen overnight, of course. And, but you can visually and energetically release that suitcase. Just take one step at a time that'll bring you closer to becoming this version of yourself who's ready to manifest your best life. Just baby steps, right? So as we leave that suitcase, we may also be leaving like codependencies and other attachments. to that other person or to the life that you had. And it's like, well, I kind of like this part of that, and I really want that back. And it's like, well, let's look at finding your own independence. This is one of the greatest gifts of journey. The greatest gifts of this journey of divorce is that you're rediscovering your independence. The part of you that it's not like I don't need you. It's like I'm comfortable with myself. I believe in myself. I'm independent. I can provide what I need for myself and then invite others along with you rather than I need you to help me feel this way, right? So after years of sharing this life with this other person, um, it's time to reconnect with yourself. So who are we, right? It's all about manifesting. You don't want to manifest more of the same. So it's like reconnect with this part of yourself. So who are you, right? It's time to explore in this new chapter, this new beginning, explore what your passions are. Like maybe that's, things that you wanted to do, but you haven't ever done. The potential that, you didn't really believe in yourself. Just like, well, I'd really love to be like this person or be doing that and what you value and what's important to you. So who were you before this relationship? Maybe you never really knew and you just went into the relationship and hoped to find that out. And who do you want to become now? What version of yourself? How do you want to design yourself? So what did you discover about yourself in this relationship that you can gain wisdom from? What did you learn about yourself, who you weren't being or who you really wanted to be? Again, journaling, meditating on these questions can help. Just taking time to just really ask yourself. This is what I do with my clients is like who do you see yourself as now? Who do you want to be now? Or if you're like, well, I don't know, or it's just again those beliefs and those thoughts are blocking you. Um, Something I do with my clients is it's like if you if someone was to ask your best friend or somebody close to you that really just sees the beautiful person that you are, if you were to ask that person something about you, how awesome you are, like, and you're like a fly on the wall, right? You said, "Oh, she's so compassionate. She's really strong. She's got great ideas. She's so independent, um, but loves to be around people." Just having ask that person in your life, you know, who, how do you see me? What do you see as my strengths, right? And then look at also as being finding your independence financially is a big one because maybe you combined incomes, maybe you were home, maybe you're deciding you're going to leave a job or something. But independence often means a change in your finances. Now's a good time to look at how you value money. Money can be, the root of all evil, right? Or it can be a blessing that will open doors for you. Um, so how are you valuing money? Where are you going to invest your resources now? Resources in yourself. Like, where are you going to spend your money? Where are you going to save your money? What are you going to invest in? So, creating a budget, of course, learn about investments, learn how to, like, what do you really need as opposed to, having something just for the sake of fulfilling a need in yourself. Maybe you start a business, maybe you change careers, maybe you become an entrepreneur so that you can have more of this financial independence. So, manifesting your future from this independence, from feeling that you can generate the income that you want. Again, this is an alignment. When you feel that you can provide for yourself, that you are resourceful in how you can generate your own financial wealth, whatever that means for you, that security and independence. Now you're building more in alignment by believing in yourself and your thoughts and in your self-worth. It's like self-worth practices are effective believe when you believe them to be true. Think about affirmations, right? When you say affirmations, if you're just saying them um, and not believing them, then it's just almost like I'm reading a script, right? It doesn't really mean anything. But when you take a moment, maybe even right now, you just take a slow little belly breath and then tap into your heart space and imagine your heart shining like a bright star. And then when you say the affirmation, I am enough, and then just sit for it with a moment. I am enough. I'm worthy. I can be independent. I'm enough. I'm worthy of love and abundance, loving myself for who I am, what I've been through, the abundance in my life, the gratitude. I am strong. I'm capable. And just sit with that. But if you're just to like open up a book, like as if you open up a book and just sort of, or a recipe, you're just going to read the recipe. It's like, you just like, imagine tasting the carrot. Imagine tasting the spice. And then you already kind of imagine, like a turkey dinner. If you just had the holidays, whatever your celebration is. Cornelia, just imagine actually experiencing that, embodying it. It really is so important to anchor into living in this belief when you're manifesting. So when you align the three things that are important to manifest the future that you want, an empowered future. So this is your values. The values are, it's like, what's important to you about your independence? What's important to you about having the freedom to choose? What's important to you about fill in the blank? And then ask yourself why. Why is this important? It's not enough that it's important to you, but why is this significantly important to you? Really getting clear on your values. And then when you when you feel into that, now embody being that version of yourself that is living that way. What are you saying? What are you believing? Hey, Lizzie, what are you feeling? Just really embody this version of yourself that's following your values, that's making confident decisions moving forward that are in alignment with these values. So when you have these three pillars, what you value, and you know why, that you believe in yourself, that you can have these values, that your life can walk this path, and that others around you, that you like even the clothes that you're wearing and how you walk, you may even like walk differently as you step into manifesting in this new way. Your behavior, who you're with, the choices that you're making, where you're going, where you're not going anymore. And then kind of put it out there, and then go live your life in that way, and trusting that things will start to align, things will start to um, synchronize. There's like something in our mind that happens. It's called the RAS, reticular activation system. It's like whatever we focus on grows and expands, and then we start seeing it everywhere. If I say, if you were to buy, if you were to get like, I don't know, you got something for Christmas, right? And a beautiful something or other, I don't know, or it's like somebody gave you flowers, and it was a really beautiful flower, and then all of a sudden you start seeing that flower on the side of the road or in a bouquet at the grocery store. That's like because you're almost looking for it. You're almost expecting it to be there. Otherwise, it's just another flower that's always there. But because you're paying attention to it, you notice it more. That's how manifestations work. It's like, so when you value something and you know what it is, and you're standing really strong and there, really anchored, and you believe that you can have it, and then your actions are also in alignment with all of those, then you start to see, oh, look, this is actually starting to flow. This is starting to happen. This person is asking me for something that I can provide. So all of these little wins, we can call it like little wins, start to show up, and they get stronger and stronger, and then we get more confident, right? So just know that manifestation is just not, I'm going to write down some things that I want for this year. And then I'm going to, this is how I'm going to get them in what I'm going to, the smart goals, right? There's so much more to it. It's like, wow, like, why isn't this working? It should be working. But manifestation, there's just so many components to it. It's your energy, it's your beliefs, and it's surrendering to what's possible. So you are not defined by your past. What you want to create in your life. Um, is possible as long as you believe in it. And it's within a range of that is believable for yourself as well. So your divorce is not your identity. Your identity is what you are going to create. So create this new chapter of life. Write your own story in this way, in this powerful way, the way you want to. Fill in all the details. Like you're coloring a picture, fill in all the colors that you want. um, have your future be full of love and happiness and that independence and especially the confidence. And remember, what you focus on, you manifest. Whatever it is that you're focusing on, you would just get more of the same. And you also look for what you expect. So remember, the magic of manifestation lies in your ability to align your thoughts and your beliefs and your behaviors, your values and actions in alignment so they support one another. Healing your heart, rediscovering your independence, and then step boldly into that empowered future, believing in yourself, believing in that this next chapter is your best life and claim it. Claim it as yours, as if it's already happening. And that's the really the main thing too, is live it as if it's already happening, and then eventually things will catch up because you still live according to the past and you just get more of that. So thank you for being here, joining me today in the magic of manifestation, manifesting your life. And I have an offer for you. I'll put the link in the comments once the video goes live, and it's a empowered future assessment where I work with you one-on-one to look at what those values are. Where are you out of an alignment that you can get into alignment? What are beliefs are holding you back, keeping you from having what you want? So I really appreciate those of you that could be joining me live here. Please share in the comments once it's posted formally, officially in the group. And what are you taking away? What's your biggest takeaway here? Um, and wishing you all the best. And get with me to do this empowered future assessment. When I did it, it was a game changer. Every time I've done it, just what I believe in. It's like I really discovered what I was putting all my attention on was not really where I wanted to go. So yeah, put your attention where you want to go. Thank you very much. And be well, be happy, be empowered, be independent, be authentic, all those beautiful things. Take care, ladies.